For the first time, a woman will lead the influential peacemaking group Religions for Peace. That's from the NGO's massive interfaith gathering that just happened here in Germany. More than 1,000 religious leaders from more than 100 countries gathered at the Religions for Peace World Conference. They elected former senior, well, still current senior UN advisor Azza Karam as the new Secretary General. The group has been working to promote peace around the world for 50 years now. It's been working especially hard to give women a greater role in peacemaking. And Azza Karam, the newly elected Secretary General of Religions for Peace, is with me in the studio. Very good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, first of all, tell us a little more about your organization, Religions for Peace. It sounds like a noble cause, but are religions really making the world a more peaceful place?
Well, when religions come together in solidarity around a shared common principle, in this case, peace in its widest sense, yes, I think religions can actually transform plenty. And if we believe that religions can be part of a problem, then obviously they have to be a critical part of a solution. So yes, I think that has happened over time. I think what is new about Religions for Peace, new in the sense of being almost 50 years old, is the capacity to bring together religious leaders and religious institutions in platforms, which we call the interreligious councils, in over 70 countries. So that is a critical space where all the religious institutions can actually come together on a regular basis, have their own identity, and are therefore able to influence politically, socially, culturally, financially.
Now, you are the first woman to be appointed head of this organization, which, as you say, has been around for 50 years. How significant is that you, as a woman, have been elected to this position?
Well, I tend to think that my own accomplishments are actually nothing in relationship to the fact that a group of religious leaders and religious institutions from around the world agreed to elect a woman. I think that in and of itself is actually the much more transformative, enlightening thing that is actually happening.
Because many of these religions are male-dominated.
They are all, actually, to date, male-dominated, with the exception of a few movements. But in principle, these are the religious institutions of the world. They are all male-dominated, and yet they all managed to come together and agree that it would be a woman who leads them. So it is a testament to them far more than it is a testament to me.
You're a recognized expert on the Muslim world. What sort of challenges is the Muslim world facing in terms of achieving peace with itself and with other faiths?
So I think the Muslim world is symptomatic of a great deal of the rest of the world. It's the second largest religion in the whole world. It's spread all over the world. There is no such thing as one part of the world that's only Muslim. In fact, most Muslim majority countries are just that, Muslim majority, which means that there are plenty of other religions within them. And I believe that what is transpiring in the broader realm of religion and religious engagement is that one part of the world, which is Western Europe, tended to dominate and set the trend for how religions are perceived and what their role is. And in fact, Western Europe is quite secular, perhaps the only secular part of the world. The world has continued to be religious in every sense of the world, in the sense that we have 80% of the world's people claiming an affiliation to a religion. So I think if we look at it that way and we don't see Islam as a unique species or a unique phenomenon, we'll be able to understand that we're talking about, if you will, many people reconnecting with their faith identity. And that takes different forms and different shapes depending on the political and social and economic conditions.
When you look at the global landscape and you look at the different religions and the tensions that are sometimes coming out of these different religions with one another, what do you see as the main points of conflict as we move forward?
My personal perspective as a scholar is that once the religious and the political come a little bit too close together, we tend to find plenty of challenges because political leadership and religious leadership have to be seen as unique and distinct. When there is too much of an overlap between the political institutions and the religious institutions, it doesn't become so much about faith anymore for the religious, it becomes more about power politics. And I believe that power politics are very critical and important, but they need to be distinct from faith and people's commitment to faith and what that means in people's lives. So I think the greatest challenge facing us right now is a little bit too much of a confluence between the religious and the political institutions.
Azza Karam, the incoming Secretary General of Religions for Peace. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.